Oh, we got another skit.
Hey, Eisen. What's it feel like to get a letter?
I don't feel anything, nor do I want or need to. There's no joy in receiving these things.
Huh? Why not?
Don't be so shocked. Look, it's just an invoice from the turtles. What's the big deal anyway? Do you wish you get letters too?
Yeah. But I don't have anyone to send letters to. Let alone anyone who would send me any.
Laffy said, I've got a letter for you.
What? Really? Who could it be from? The sender is... Bienfu?
Yup. You got a letter from yours truly. I figured you'd be wanting someone to send you a letter right about now, so I wrote one up for you. What do you think? You're happy, right?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Bienfu.
I'll even read it for you. Dear Moloch Laffyset, I hope that this letter finds you in good health and high spirits. Thankfully, I'm doing well myself, with no major changes to report.
Bienfu's taking all this so seriously. It's so rare to actually see him like this.
As you're aware, I've been spending my days ironing Magilu's outfits, sewing her buttons, and washing her hat and tremendously long socks. Recently, however, I made the mistake of remarking to her that she might not have been quite as slender as she once was in her younger years. She hung me upside down from the roof in the middle of the cold. I nearly became a frozen Normansicle. It was so horrible that I couldn't stop my tears from flowing down my little cheeks. Bien!
There's the Bienfu we know and love.
But all you wrote about in that letter was yourself. And you even read it out loud yourself.
That's okay. Thanks, Bienfu. It feels nice to get a letter.
That's so kind of you to say. I think I might cry again.
It's like they're a series of aliens that are trying to pretend to understand human emotion. Which, to be fair, none of them are human, technically. But it's like watching an episode of Third Rock from the Sun where everyone's just trying to figure out how being an individual works and stuff like that. I walked straight past an exclamation point. Whoops.
We've loaded everything bound for Hellawes. With that much trade, I doubt anyone will suspect us.
Any idea who can give us cover for docking?
Not anyone in particular, but recently the power and influence of the Hellawes Fishermen's Guild has caught my eye.
The Fishermen's Guild, huh? Let's bring them some extra relief supplies. Fuel, drink. And as for the drink...
12-year-old amber draft. The sailors of Hellawes have an eye for the stuff.
You heard that from Dial, I take it. He's got a sharp eye.
He took a bottle in payments, but I say we turn a blind eye to it. We thought we were the best at this kind of thing, but having him around has been a real eye-opener.
Okay, but tell him if he takes a second, he'll pay for it. Eye for an eye.
Aye. I'll keep an eye on him so that he doesn't sneak off with another bottle.
Dial's moving in just fine. I'm actually a little impressed that they've sort of fulfilled my wishes and actually kind of expanding on him as a character and keeping up with him periodically instead of just having him become another background person that stands around. Because they established him immediately, and then I'm like, oh, he's just going to sit there, isn't he? And he did for a while, but hasn't entirely stuck to just being a character that sits around.
The supplies are loaded. We can make for Hellawes whenever you want.
That was fast.
If we weren't hard workers, we wouldn't be sailors.
Eleanor!
Oh, what's wrong, Kamoana?
She said she had a dream about her mom.
When Mommy saw me, she said I looked scary. That she didn't want a scary little girl like me.
Your mother would never say that, sweetheart.
But how can you be sure?
Well, how do I put it? I know because I know.
You're just lying to make me feel better.
Aw, Kamawana, don't cry.
Oh, this is the part I hate about little kids.
I'm not a little kid! I hate you, Velvet! I hate you!
That's right, let it all out.
Stop it! Stop it! Mommy! I saw my mommy! She didn't want me!
She managed to cry herself to sleep.
They're not rational creatures. Sometimes you just gotta let them cry it out.
You seem used to it.
I guess you could say that. Luffy usually kept himself together when he was younger. But when he was really little, he had times like this every now and then. And on that note, let's take off all we can.
My liege, Dial, I leave Kamawana in your care.
I'll do what I can, but kids as sweet and honest as her are harder to deal with than corrupt bureaucrats.
An outlaw prince and a talking lizard are no replacement for a mother.
I'm late on this, but we totally got to see Aizen's reading glasses.
I do hope Kamawana isn't crying anymore.
Yeah.
Shush.
How long is it going to be before you send in another exorcist to replace Lady Teresa?
With these demons clamoring at our gates, none of us feel safe anymore.
You have our deepest sympathies, but we were sent here on a different mission.
That's what the last exorcist who came here said before leaving for the north. What could be up there that's worth all that attention?
Surely we're not all being punished by the Abbey for what happened with Medissa, are we?
That is not the case. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have business to attend to.
So the exorcists are just passing through town and heading straight north. Odd.
Yay, we're slowly making life worse for everybody.
Ever since the calamity showed up, everything's just gone to pot, I say.
Calamity? What do you mean?
I mean the demon who barged in and made a mess of our fair city. She's a nasty creature of pure evil, with an arm that eats anything that gets in her way.
Haven't you heard of her? The calamity's been rampaging across the whole kingdom, not just here. Scant few have seen her and survived.
Huh. You don't say.
After the calamity razed our ships and our port, the shipping guild fell apart, and our trade routes got poached by other ports. It's bad. The town relies on trade to make ends meet.
People are abandoning the city, and our streets are no longer safe. Not to mention the demon blight spreading again. Just the other day, a little kid turned into a demon. Just like that. What a world! What a world!
What have the exorcists been doing during all of this?
Well, Lady Teresa was in charge of this region, but she came up short against the calamity and got a fat demotion for her troubles. Several new exorcists have been reassigned here, but once they arrive, they all traipse right off to the ruins up north.
This has to be Medissa's fault. If she hadn't gone and done something so stupid...
Medissa?
That's enough. This isn't something for outsiders to know.
You're right. Sorry. I'm really worried about what's going to come of this town.
It sounds like Hellawes isn't what it used to be these days.
We need to ask around and find out more about what's going on here.
Agreed. Especially regarding the Abbey and those ruins. I'm also curious about this Medissa woman.
The ruins part makes sense, since the Earth Pulse point might be there. But why do you care who Medissa is?
Just a hunch. Something tells me she's worth looking into.
You're not gonna look into this calamity chick? She sounds like a real terror.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. I already know plenty about what makes her tick.
Right, everyone's mad at me here, and I'm wanted and whatnot. Time to do this again. Maybe not that one. What the heck? I guess I got that at some point. It's just that same costume, but with even less clothes. Huh. But you lose the whole Castlevania feel when you get rid of that. Do I have a ridiculous hat to wear? Because I'm already using the cowboy hat elsewhere. Oh, the horns. Keep forgetting about that detail. It's fine. There we go. Now no one will recognize me as Calamity Girl.
Are you all right, Madam Eleanor? Don't let those people get you down.
I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. But could you not do that thing where you blow air on me to dry my tears?
All right, I'll just pat your head then.
That won't be necessary either. But really, things are in a terrible state.
The town burned, the guild ruined, the abbey all but gone. It won't be a functioning port for some time.
You can't fault them for being upset. They had it real good here until we came along. Those Hellawesians were like spoiled children.
How so?
Hellawes was once a tiny fishing village. The bountiful northern seas provided plenty enough fish to sustain their trade. But Flamestone gave them an easy way to get rich. And once they got a taste, they abandoned their old craft.
And now they're paying the price. But I've heard that the cooling temperature has covered half the northern sea in ice drift, making fishing much more difficult.
But the drifting ice carries tiny organisms, enriching the waters where it melts. The fish should be more plentiful than ever.
I suppose you may have a point.
We're ones to talk after what we did, but taking the easy path, then complaining as soon as it gets hard, that seems...
Spoiled, yes.
You said it, Laphicet.
I think my appetite's getting a little overindulgent, too.
That's not a bad thing. Just means you're healthy.
Giant squid come to these waters in this season. Should I ask Benwick to fish some up?
Yeah, and some normal octopuses, too.
I just noticed a detail. The, Rokuro's head goes through the top of the frame, but Aizen's does not. As far as, like, getting cut off at the top of the frame when those things are sliding around and stuff. The spoiled part might be surprisingly true, because we're 2 for 2 now, where we come here and something's going wrong here, and they have some outsider that they have some singular person that they blame all their problems on. Last time it was Dial, this time it's this new character. That seems to be how they handle all their problems, is come up with a specific person to make responsible for all of them.
This calamity is... us, isn't it?
Well, we've been waging war with the Abbey everywhere we go, and now we're about to take it to a new level.
If we pull the next Therian off of the Earth Pulse point, it'll likely be Kamoana's village all over again.
The same devastation?
Ooh! I wonder if there's something worse than calamity that they can call us!
This is no laughing matter.
People turn into demons in part due to their own malevolence. It's not like they're entirely innocent. But if there's someone out there who's being forced to act as Inominat's mouth, like Kamoana was, isn't saving them the right thing to do?
I cannot argue with that, but...
You don't have to worry. I'm the one who will devour the barrier. And I'm the one who will do what needs to be done.
Okay, so it seems to be less specific to Rokuro or Aizen and more like specific to which exact animation's being shown or how much the camera like is up close on them for that particular shot or something like that. My bad.
The demon attacks have ground trade to a halt. But people are slowly starting to fish again.
Are you a fisherman too?
Aye. This town got swept up in the recent trade boom. But back when I was a young lad, this was a fishing port through and through. Ever since the shipping guild took over the docks, all of us fishermen got muscled out. Making this a commercial port has helped the town grow. But a lot of people weren't so happy with the guild.
It's too bad everyone couldn't just work together.
Once money gets involved, People change. That's true no matter what age you live in. The people know it's the ones making the money who lead the charge, but we follow anyway. It's human nature. I hope everyone changes their minds once we start rebuilding. But who knows what will happen.
At least you can go ice fishing if the place freezes over. I guess that hasn't happened yet, though, if you're able to just dock here. Where is the chest? There we go. So I think various chests will have now respawned due to time passing and sort of restock themselves as we go. So we're going right into town. Wasn't sure if we're going to the storehouse or not. Just kind of got used to that habit. We haven't been here for a while. Magilu and Laphicet weren't even party members yet. Or Aizen. It was basically just me and Rokaru. And then, yeah, and Magilu was a character that followed us around but was not joining the party yet. I think they don't want you, I think they don't want you to have characters join the party until they're actually going to be there long term. So they didn't have Magilu join because she was going to be gone for a while. She sort of gets taken hostage here.
Hey, do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sorry, I'm busy. Try someone else.
Excuse me. My name is Eleanor, and I'm an exorcist on patrol with the Abbey. I was wondering if I could solicit your honest opinion about how this town is being run.
Oh, I didn't realize there was an exorcist with you. Yes, please tell the Abbey we want Lady Teresa back. Her governance was strict, it's true, but at least we could live in safety. Now, all the exorcists run off to the Faldies ruins and leave us here in the lurch. They value some dusty, faraway ruins over the lives of the good, hardworking citizens here. It's just wrong. We've always been cooperative with the Abbey's demands, and now this is what we get in return.
I see. The Abbey appreciates your, candor. I'll pass your comments on to my superiors.
First it was the sailors, and then even a small girl caught the demon blight. I was sure it was going to start spreading through this town as well, but then, after that incident, it just went poof and disappeared. I guess I was expecting a little more after hearing how contagious it was. I wonder what really causes it.
Who knows?
I heard of this one village in Midgand where everyone caught it at once. It wiped out the entire town. I hope the Abbey develops a cure quickly. I can't wait for the day where we can live without fear.
Whoops. That'll never fully happen, because it turns out it's inside you all along.
Poor Medissa.
Are you a friend of hers?
Yeah, she used to live just down the road from me. Medissa raised her daughter Diana all on her own. And then they up and murdered the girl.
Murdered? By whom?
The exorcists. Once Diana caught the demon blight, the damned Abbey exterminated her like a rat.
How cruel.
I felt just terrible, but I suppose there wasn't much else to be done with her. But Medissa, she hated the Abbey for what they'd done, so she barricaded herself inside the sanctuary. She just kept on screaming, all like, demons have feelings too.
What happened after that?
I wouldn't have been surprised to see her executed, but luckily, she was spared that much. An exorcist stopped the guard who was about to cut her down, said, "Don't kill her, she's receptive."
Receptive, huh?
I think that's their way of referring to her deep faith. Before all this, she was a real devout lady.
That was certainly kind of them.
Medissa really cherished her daughter. Can't much blame her for blowing up like that. But the Abbey, they don't care so much about feelings. Reason is all that matters to them. They don't take kindly to people disrupting their order.
Well, that's not great news. I seriously doubt that it was her faith. It's totally going to be that she was useful to them, and so you don't want to kill them. If they put it up there? Ah, crap. Where's the local ladder? They put it at the top of the wall. But I want to be able to warp around and crap. Alright, let's go on a detour. They just had to, huh? They couldn't restrain themselves. We also can't do it over here. Where's the ladder I can use? Is it over here? Ah, I don't remember this town anymore. They put their earth pulse thing in the most inconvenient spot. No. Do I run all the way around the back? Where is it? There we go. They just couldn't restrain themselves, huh? Need my hoverboard. Yeah. Although I don't know if it's for just like... It's probably just for this one map, huh? So it's not that big of a deal. But I've got it. Gotta remind myself how to control this thing. I always find myself wanting to press forward, and that's just not how it works. Watch out. I forgot to set the camera angle in advance, so it's at a weird angle. There we go.
If you go north from Hellawes, you'll come upon the Faldies ruins, which are Abbey property. Mainly, it's used as a checkpoint for hauling ore that's extracted out of Mount Killerhouse. But between you and me, I hear the Abbey also uses it as a prison camp.
A prison camp? Are they capturing demons?
Heavens no! The demons they kill on sight. No, these prisoners are human criminals. Not long ago, this woman killed someone and locked herself up in the sanctuary. I hear she got hauled off to the camp.
Why do you think the Abbey would use the ruins for a prison camp?
Who knows? Maybe they need a place to deal out their harshest punishments. The Abbey's not known to be forgiving, after all. But these are just nasty rumors I heard. Of course, I don't believe a word of it.
Yeah, you don't believe a word of it, which is why you've internalized all of it and are repeating it to strangers.
I can't believe the demon blight has spread it to the city now.
Scary times.
Well, the one who caught it was a little girl, so they were able to deal with her before anything bad happened. But the problem was that the demon girl's mother tried to hide her.
That's only human nature.
These are dangerous times. We dare not let our emotions control us. One person's selfishness could endanger the entire community.
Right.
Thankfully, an upstanding citizen noticed something suspicious and reported the child to the Abbey. But the mother went mad and killed him in retribution. And what makes it all the more lurid is, I heard the man she killed was a fellow she was actually thinking about marrying. The daughter had been dead set against her mother remarrying. You can taste the irony.
That's horrible.
She had it coming. If there's anything worse than demons, it's people who can't control themselves.
So, Diana was a girl-turned-demon who was killed by an exorcist. And her mother Medissa hated the Abbey for it. And the Abbey is using the Faldies ruins up north as a prison camp.
It's a lot like what happened to Kamawana, isn't it?
It's natural for a mother to love her own child. To make that a crime.
What I'm curious about is the use of the word receptive to describe Medissa.
So long as there is one receptive to divine power, Therians shall be forever reborn. If our interpretation of that ancient book is right, it likely means she's receptive to Inominat's power.
Meaning they brought Medissa to those ruins where there's an earth pulse point, and then they made her into a Therian.
That would certainly put all the pieces together, yep. Plus, if this Therian the Abbey created already hates them, that's all the better for us.
Yeah, I imagine she'd be willing to work with us. Although, it sounds almost too easy. Did I jinx it? I just jinxed it, didn't I?
Probably, but we won't find out until we try.
True. Let's head for the ruins.
And don't worry, you totally jinxed it.
We can't let emotion rule us. This is very easy for me to say when it is not my family being wiped out. That's pretty much how it goes.
Hellawes is different now, isn't it?
Maybe, but you've changed too.
True. When I first met all of you, I never could have imagined I would go on such a journey.
I could barely even think then. But then Velvet let me keep this compass. And Aizen and Rokuro taught me to be myself. They certainly did.
And look at Dial. He's a regular part of the Von Altia's crew now.
Even Restless Bienfu and Grimoire are now part of our merry band.
Yep.
Hey, aren't you forgetting someone? Oh, and the prince and his hawk, And Korogane and Kamawana are with us.
Listen, I've got more part in this tale than any of them.
Hush. Whatever I'd say, you'd say it doesn't matter to you.
At last you begin to understand me. Magic Azam. Achoo! I didn't think Northgand would be this cold.
But Northgand was Teresa's territory. Wouldn't you have been here with her?
I think having my awareness controlled meant my senses were dulled as well.
I see. But the cold doesn't seem to be bothering Aizen at all. In fact, everyone else seems comfortable here.
If you shiver at these temperatures, you'll never make it on the high seas.
In my youth, I practiced the blade under the blazing sun and through raging blizzards. Besides, when I turned into a demon, extreme temperatures ceased to affect me.
The same thing happened to me. I used to hate winter. So that's some good luck.
But what of yourself? You seem to be handling it just fine.
I'm freezing, actually. I don't know how you stand it.
I loathe the cold more than anything. That's why I've armed myself with a secret weapon. I've stuck thin, yet powerful, Cuckoo brand hand warmers all over myself. I even packed them in my shoes.
Really? That sounds amazing.
I'm willing to share, if you act like a dove.
What?
Go cuckoo, like a dove.
Please share your cuckoo warmers with me. Cuckoo.
You're no velvet, that's for sure.
Trying to trick her into being as funny. There are no hand warmers. That was a very obvious setup, but that is the exact character who would fall for that kind of trick. Must get a hoverboard. Don't mind me. Just getting a hoverboard. Ah, B is Y. Mine. Yes. Where am I going? North? North. Okay. North. Let's go then. Yep. Now this is the correct camera angle. I might as well just default to this. Oh. Could have grabbed that, didn't want to stop. The Faldies ruins. Northern checkpoint.
Look, no guards. I think it's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'd say good. We can march straight in.
But they're all dead. That's the trick. They all died. What's this? Oh, right. The really, really weirdly specific columns. I forgot about these. It's been a while. Right, this was the weird dungeon that mixed in, like... They had rock columns and crystal columns as if they were the same thing. But also they had these ones conforming to walls, and like everything's weird here. And squares. Perfect squares would not be happening. Haha. We haven't explored a good old-fashioned dungeon for a while, actually. It's been a lot of, What? You took my hoverboard? Why did I even get it in the first place? I grabbed it twice since we docked, and I've already had it taken away from me both times. Dang it. They put these on some really restrictive, regions, then.
There sure are a lot of Malakim posted here.
They're probably here to protect the Therian, right?
One would assume.
The exorcist controlling them can't be far then. Be careful.
It's a bit of a surprise the game was so dungeon-heavy for a while. But once we started freely sailing around, it became a sequence of us always docking in a port, walking into like the next screen over, and taking out a boss or something, and then story. We need 320. Oh, screw off. It's made the game feel surprisingly quickly paced lately because there has been so little downtime and. You know, the repeating room buffers. I want my hoverboard back. Come on. I just got it twice and it's gone. Ah. All right. I forgot are those the Malakim? Yeah, Zombo Malakim. 'Cause that's the mask they wear, but they're all like barely clothed weird zombie monsters, which is concerning. So this whole place is just a mess. Whoops. Well, my expedition's returned. Get right the heck back out there.
All right.
It's funny that the expeditions are almost perfectly timed with the amount of time I generally give an episode. Speaking of which,